Hello, my name is Adolfo and this is Life of Adolfo. Today I'm going to give you the second part video, and this is the videos that I'll be making and the process of me opening a business here in the Philippines. My significant other is a Filipina, and for me, I am an American. This part of the video is us looking for a space, and I'm going to be honest, when you are looking for a space, or I was looking for a space, I went to Facebook Market and there's commercial spaces for rent. I feel like the competition to get a space is a lot of people with limited space on Facebook Market. That's on Facebook Market. And like I said, this is my honest opinion. Of course, there's some middlemen, and I feel that maybe sometimes the middleman already has their preferred clients, or they are also people looking for spaces that they could easily get what they wish for. And the reason I say that is because the photos that they post on Facebook Market, by the way, I am in Cebu, you can see it's limited, and a lot of them are old photos or old commercial spaces available, meaning that there's already been X amount of people looking at them. We did look at a few of them. We did. And we also called on some, and they say they couldn't because maybe the water or the drainage or whatever the case might be, it was not suitable for a laundry. We're trying to open a laundry service. And like I said, this video is just to cover this part of us looking for a space. And we decided to do plan B, and plan B is doing the walking method. Walk around, look at spaces, look at the numbers, call the number, let's see if it's available. We did walk around for a whole week. We called certain areas, and we'll say out of the 10 places that we called, 9 out of 10, they said it's not suitable for laundry, the water, or the drainage. We kept on walking for the whole week, and there's one particular space. I really liked it. And we called the number, we met the middleman. I call him the middleman because he was the middleman. And he said, the owner's coming on Saturday. My mind is thinking, and I said, it's 2 spaces for one. So my mind was running, and I said, why not open a laundromat, a laundry service, and a water refill station? And I told the owner what our plan was, and he said, okay. He wanted the money or the payment at a certain date. So now we have to go get the payment, but there's always obstacles that you don't plan for. And my mind is, I have to pay him so we get the space, and he don't think we're like pulling his leg, or we're not gonna pay him on time, or whatever the case might be. So we go to the bank, we try to open a bank account, because I don't know all the procedures in the Philippines. And my plan was to wire the payment or transfer the payment from one bank account to another. I do not have a Philippine account. My significant other didn't have a Philippine account. And something I did not know of the bank account here, to be able to get a bank account in the Philippines, and this is according to the things that she said, is that she might not be able to get it because she hasn't worked, meaning that we might not get a bank account. So I already have plan B, plan C, plan D. And what are those plans? Go to another bank, go to another bank, go to another bank until we get approved. We called the owner and we told him what was going on. He said, just deposit the money in my bank account. He gave us his account number and everything. And at that time, it was easier because I already had the money on hand. We went to his bank account and we deposited the money. Like I said, there's things that I'm not familiar here in the Philippines compared to the United States. I know you're able to do that in the United States. I did not know if you go to a certain bank account and a certain bank, and that person is in that bank, but he's in a different branch, you have to pay a fee. It's not a lot, but I did not know that. In the United States, we'll say that Bank of America There's a branch in the east, there's a branch in the west coast, and you don't have to pay a fee. Why? Because it's the same bank regardless of the branch. That's the bank that I'm with. I'm not sure if all the banks in the United States do that, but that's another thing that was not similar or the same as in the United States. Now I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, and one thing that I did not mention when I was talking about the owner is that we already had planned and we already called somebody for the washers and dryers to get a quote. But that person said we need to see the space if it's compatible for a laundry, same as the other spaces, water and drainage. Our plan was to see the owner, and an hour later, them come in and check the space. The owner was already there. He was still there. They came, they looked at the space. They say that the water and the drainage and the space is compatible for a laundry service. The person, the middleman, he's gonna be, or our plan right now is he's gonna be the person that is gonna install the water refilling station, since that's another side job that he has. And he already knew that it's compatible. Why? Because the space that we're gonna get, it's underneath these condos, apartments, or however you want to name them. And the middleman, some of the clients that he has are on that building for purifying water, meaning that he knows it's compatible for some type of refilling station on the bottom. And we agreed, and now we have the water refilling station and the laundry services, and we're getting the quotes. As for the space, the reason I really wanted this space and I wanted to pay the lease fast is for 3 reasons. The first one is a big space. A big space, 45,000 pesos. Number 2 is 2 spaces in one. That means I could open 2 businesses. And number 3, there's condos that are getting built. It looks like there's 5. There's like, how can I say this? It's a condo area, but with 5 buildings and easily 30 floors each one. It might be open next year, but one of them is almost done. If they decide to open one, then another one, and so on, we could get clients maybe in 6 to 8 months. So I do know that we're gonna take a loss in our first 8 months, since there's not a lot of condos in that area. Maybe one, but they have a laundry on the bottom, and another one, I kind of would say half a block, half a street away, there's another one, but there's no laundry around it, that we might be able to get those clients. At the same time, the water refilling station, I did not see none nearby the condos that they're building and the apartments or condos in front of us where the other laundry station is at. Now, I know that you have to think there's always going to be maybe a business that they might be putting right next to it that will give us competition. For me, competition is good. Why? Because I know that there's clients. Number 2, in front of that area, there's this wall, this area, it's a wall with a building that it's impossible to get a laundromat in there unless that condo puts a laundromat on the bottom. But usually condos in the Philippines or in Cebu, what I noticed on some of them, when they put a laundromat at the bottom, sometimes they're not open a certain day, and sometimes they say we cannot deliver in a 1-day notice or 2-day notice. And if there's Airbnb individuals, they're trying to fly out probably, that they cannot wait 1 or 2 days. And that's where I think we're going to have success. That and the water refilling next to it. If we could do 1 or 2 be successful, I think we're going to do good, especially for the price that we're paying and for the location and for the 2 areas of business. I feel like we hit the jackpot. The owner, by the way, he was nice. He understood our plan, and he even gave us a month free, because 1 month it's going to be for renovation. He's going to renovate it. The second month, he gave it to us for free because I told him what our plan was, and he knows it's going to take a little bit longer than the usual to get everything installed. The water, the laundry, and a back room that we're planning to put with a partition and a kitchen, because we want to have a kitchen where the worker could easily get certain things as well. And when they're on break, we don't want them in the front with the customers see them eat. We rather have them not worried that the customer's seeing them, not worried that the other worker is taking long to help them, that they feel pressure that they have to help them. As for the lease and things that I think that individuals need to look at is what's going to be the markup on a year-to-year or every other year on your lease. For example, some people will say it's going to be a 10% increase, or it's going to be a 2%, or whatever the case might be. For me, I wanted to ask that, because I don't want them to say, I'm going to give you a 20 because there's a new hotel coming and there's businesses. It's going to be business. And he understood. He said, I'm going to give you a 3% increase at a 2-year mark, which I felt it was great. And those are the type of things that you need to ask if you're trying to open a business. I'm not familiar with everything on the business area, but I wanted to cover every area that I had knowledge. At the same time, we signed the lease. It was there. It has to be notarized. I did not know it had to be notarized in the Philippines. In the US, they usually don't notarize it. You sign the contract and that's it. You get a copy and the other individual gets a copy. Same thing over here. We're going to get a copy, but that's after it gets notarized. My number one pet peeve for this video is, when looking for a space, don't just focus if you're looking at marketplace only or walk-in only. Do a combination of everything. And when you look at a space, ask the questions. Is this space going to give me business? Is this space have growth afterwards? Where's the competition? Look at the competition. Count, if it's a laundry service, count the bags. If there's 20 bags or X amount, you already know there's business available in that area. At the same time, you need to ask yourself, am I able to compete with those individuals? Am I leasing the washers? Am I leasing everything that I'm going to be in a choke point on making revenue, profit, and so on? And I do feel that one of our advantage is going to be that we're going to pay off the washers and dryers and the water refilling station right away, instead of having that extra payment. And like I said, I do feel like in the first 8 months to a year, we're going to be in the red. And knowing or having your mindset ready to be on the red is going to prevent you having that panic that you're struggling because you thought you're going to make profits. At the same time, like I said about the washers and dryers and the water refilling station, I'm going to pay them right off the bat. That means that there's not going to be that extra payment while I'm in the red and panicking because now I have to pay that extra payment. I believe that that type of mindset is going to help us right away. Now, as for me, is this my first business that I open? Yes. Do I have fear, or do I feel like I'm going to struggle? In one way, I do believe that I'm going to struggle at the beginning, like I mentioned, but at the same time, my knowledge when it comes to laundromats and profits in the military, that's what I used to do. I used to run the laundry and the store, and those two side by side, one of them was free, the laundry, but at the same time, I have knowledge in the profits and the loss of a business. But have I done it by myself personally? No. And that's all I have. I believe that we're going to do great. Not in the first year, but my mindset is already ready for the following year. And that's all I got. Hopefully you like my videos. Next video that I'm going to try to do on this is the process of the barangay and all those forms that we have to do to open a business. As I mentioned, as for now, the expenses in our laundry service are $45,000 times 3, since we had to do 2 months deposit at the end of the lease and an advance deposit or an advance payment of our lease. That is 45,000 times 3, which is 135,000 on our first payment. After that, I'm gonna go through all our payments. We already agreed on certain payments, but as soon as the money and the quote and everything is signed, that's when I'm gonna give those numbers, because everything right now is word of mouth until the payment is handed. So hopefully you like my video. Thank you, and thank you for watching. And I'll keep updated on all of our steps. Thank you.